entrance like that, right? Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the backyard. All right, glad you're here again. You see anything different this time? Yeah. Green. Look, plants, sunshine. But it's really about the green. So today I am excited to show you the plants. I'm going to give you another tour. This time not in the gray, brown, drab time of the year. The nice, sunny, green, blue sky time of the year. I want to show you all the crazy plants and weird things we have going on with growing things. So let's go on a tour. All right, come on. Here we go. All right, let's look at some plants here. You know, you saw before some of the stuff that we're starting, but now let's see what's happened a little bit later in the season here. So, remember that greenhousey thing we had here? Well, look at that. Okay, we're starting to get lettuces and kales and all sorts of stuff. I'm doing some experiments with watering, wicking water from this thing down into there. But you know, okay, that's a different subject. Okay, here's that garden. Remember that garden that I had? Well, now I've got it loaded with, there's basil, doing lots of these basil. I have a little basil forest. But if you notice, some things that are really cropping up is this. It's mint. Look, it's like mint gone wild. And we were lucky enough to move in to like a whole crop of mint. And, you know, mint's one of these things that like takes over yards and people say, you gotta get rid of that mint. But come on, for a play space, it's the best because you brush against it and mint. You nibble on it, it's mint. And you can do almost anything to it because it just keeps growing. Another thing you can do with it when it keeps growing is you just transplant it. So you pull it out by the roots, you just stuff it in other places. So we've had fun with that. Minty. Yeah, so you put mint everywhere. And look, so I stuck it in over here by the slide. So when you go down the slide, look at this. Mint. Mint. You get lots of like nice mint. So, also got sunflowers going there. So I love that idea about just like having mint in there and just put it everywhere. Let it get trampled, let it get plucked, let it get picked. Last year I did mint and had a stevia plant, which is that super sweet stuff. This was my formula. One stevia leaf, 2 mint leaves. So good. Okay, do you remember a peach tree? Look, there's a little peach. So we're just starting that one. As we continue, remember the rain barrel here? So this is nice just to have rain from the gutters coming down, and then I just, you know, you just fill your watering can. So it's nice to have something like that. Could you have something like that? Okay, moving on. Just, there's willow. There's some like living willow to make willow huts. I took some of this from a local creek. Remember that cherry tree? There was like cherry blossoms that were just starting last time we looked. But look, now it's fully leafed out. There's cherries. Look, some cherries there. That'll be fun. I had a friend who does permaculture, and I was like, well, where can I plant some fruit trees? And he was like, plant them where you will see them every day. Look, there's our door. And you plant it here every time I go down. And I love it because I just love watching plants grow. And you get to see literally how plants grow, how they leaf, how many leaves they have, how they blossom, how next year's, you know, fruit will set, the whole deal. It's just fun to watch. So, okay, here's a plant. I have this all over the place. It's called comfrey. And it's another one of these vigorous plants that you wouldn't really want in your like formal gardens, but it sure is fun for the play space. And one thing is, if you get hurt, you get bruised. If a kid gets bruised, it's like a medicinal, you know, healing thing. You chomp it up, you make a poultice out of it, and you can put that on your sore spot, and it makes it feel better. That's good to have in a play space, right? Also, if you like to have burdock wars, it's sort of like that. It's kind of a fun little game that we have. On the back, it's sort of like Velcro, and when someone's not looking, you can just put a leaf on them, and then suddenly they're like, hey, who put this leaf on there? Okay, that's fun, right? Here's another thing that is a good plant. It's not, my mom looks at this, she's like, that's a weed. Well, yeah, normally it is. You'll see what it looks like later, but it's plantain. And I learned about this, and especially, I mean, I grew up around this stuff. It was a weed in my household. But when I was visiting some Scottish forest schools, and kids, nettles, stinging nettles, ow, that hurts. But the kids knew right away if they got stinging nettles on them. Again, they chomped that up and put it on the stinging nettle as a poultice. It soothes and heals stinging nettles, and they often grow together. Luckily, there's no stinging nettles in here, I don't think. Okay, do you want to know the big one? This is the big one. This is the big thing I'm excited to show you. There's a system of vines, bittersweet. Has neat berries in the winter and fall, yellow and red, all this stuff. But it goes crazy. There's an apple tree right in here. But this stuff goes crazy, and I've trained the vines. So it's a system of vines that now are climbing up and over our little fort here. Can you see that? So fun. And then I have got an archway here of the vines because I put a string on there. So it's growing up and over. So like we're just like passing through the plants, and it kind of creates this mood and interesting thing. I planted another one here. It's another one of these invasives. Don't tell anyone I'm telling you to plant invasives, okay? None of your permaculture friends. Go ahead. So now I'm planting some here, so they'll grow up this way. It's just fun, right? The idea of plants taking over, and this mix of like, you have some structure and then you have some plants, and where does one leave off and where does the other one begin? Here's some more comfrey. And this is the thing with comfrey. I just stuck like a tiny little root system in there, and boom, it grows. So it wants to grow. Quick blueberry. Put some nice dirt and compost in here, so I'm gonna grow some squash and gourds. Inside, look, I stuck another little comfrey that's gonna grow. There's some more mint. Grapevine here. So the idea, wow, look how long my arm looks. That's gonna grow up and over. Won't that be neat? Grapevine that goes up. And then I stuck another of the bittersweet back there so that it'll grow up this back post. How neat is that? Okay, and then let me just show you, I think I talked about this before, I added it's really bright. Added a new, it's not a plant, it's a new chalkboard. Okay, so basically plants can, doesn't this yard look a lot nicer than that first tour? Yeah, greenery, plants, change, fruit trees, blueberries, weird stuff, healthy stuff. Stuff that can hurt your boo-boo. All right, yeah. What's next? So this project is a natural playscape in the forest. A couple years ago, I teamed up with a nature center in New Hampshire to look at how to create a wild woods natural playscape. And so the first step was just to truck around their woods and check it out and see all the great spots that are already there, and then think about how to enhance it. What can we add there? We came up with tree houses and boulder scrambles, music areas, sitting areas, fire pits. We used trees and logs, fallen logs from the woods for sculpture, for play, and signage and storage and all sorts of great stuff. Because we know kids love the woods, and then we think, how can we make the woods even more fun so children can get out there in the forest?
Everywhere! Ah! Even one in my sneaker! What? Even one in my sneaker. They aren't? Yeah. What is this not?
The Pinnacles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like ice top mountains. Snow, white top mountains. Hey, look, a hole. There's a hole in the ground. Oh my gosh, this is steep. Are you filming this?
I am.
Okay. Can this be in the 2 minutes of play? 2 minutes of play. I'm tired. Let's go. Whoa, Dad, this is really high up. Whoa, Dad. Oh, greenish mountains, majesty. Oh, bonus place.
So maybe that's one of the best things we can do is just go to nature, go to the plants, go explore and discover what's out there in your own neighborhood, your own community. But you can also plant a community of plants right in your backyard. And so like I said before, it doesn't have to be fancy stuff. Mints. I would say, like, can you just grab a bunch of mints, talk to friends of yours that have garden, what can they separate from their garden and that you could just stick in everywhere. And when you plant stuff for kids, just put lots of it in there. Plant way more than you normally would plant. Don't worry about certain invasive things. No cuts or anything like that. But comfrey, a tiny bittersweet vine, that would be okay. Mint, I'd say try to just get lots of mint, stuff it in everywhere, and every year it grows back stronger. Then every year you pick some of it and you plant it in other places, and soon you will have, it'll be like Christmas in July, smelling mint, candy canes, you know what I mean. Anyway, thanks for coming to the backyard. Send me pictures, either that hole digging, or why don't you send me some pictures of your weird plant experiments. All right, see ya.